Hey, highly favored woman. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Life Coach Noni, and I am the founder of the Highly Favored Woman community, a community for women who are ready to elevate their lives, achieve their goals, and be the best version of themselves through the power of faith, vision boards, and strategy as well. So, welcome to my channel. Hey! I am so glad to be here. I think I'll continue saying this for a very long time because I am truly blessed to have said yes to YouTube and just started posting my content. So thank you so much for being here and for watching my content. We are now sitting at 75 subscribers. Whoop, whoop, whoop. We are clearly on the road to 100 by the end of this year. That is on my vision board. But yeah, thank you so much to everyone who has liked, who has commented, who has shared. I truly value, and every day I like do a dance and like, oh my god, I can't believe it, this is me. I am doing it and I am going all gung-ho. This is meant to be video number 10 for Vlogmas, but you know what, life happens, and this is video number 4 or 5, I think, for Vlogmas. So thank you so much for being back. Today's video, I am going to be sharing with you all about the 4 books that I read in the beginning of my personal development journey, and that really helped me to shift my mindset into how I was thinking, what I wanted to do in my life, and how basically I wanted to show up as the best version of myself, and a few things that I needed to change in my life in order for me to start showing up. So for those of you that don't know, I have been on this personal development journey for the last 24 years now. So I started looking into personal development, looking about vision boards in 2010. That is when I started. I found a few YouTube videos from Oprah Winfrey, from Steve Harvey, and an amazing coach that I used to watch, Chanel Cooper Sykes, who literally was the catalyst of me creating my first vision board and starting all of this journey of personal development. But over the years, over the last, I would say 14 years, I have been on a journey of personal development and just trying to rediscover myself and make sure that I show up as the best version of myself, as a mom, as a wife, as a daughter, as a business owner, as an employee, you know, as a sister, as a friend. And what that meant was that I needed to first fill my cup and make sure that my cup is full, so that when I pour out to others, I'm pouring from a cup that is overflowing, not from a half empty cup, and then I'm left with nothing. Okay, so as I was saying that, sorry, my battery died on my laptop, which is helping me give me the light, and this nice background of my vision board. But all I was just trying to say is that these 4 books I'm going to share with you right now are books that help me know how to shift my mindset on a personal level, on a business level, and within my relationships as well. Number 2, they also helped me create some new habits and become consistent with these habits. I am one of those people who I get bored very easily with routine. As much as I love routine in my day-to-day life, like I am so rigid in the way that I get the girls ready for school, what time I wake up. I have a routine. Even after bed, I have a routine for them. So as someone who's very routined, I do like a bit of variety sometimes, and which can mean that I don't stick to things very consistently. And so I needed to read some books that will help me shift that mindset a little bit. So here are my 4 books that I'm going to share with you. They are all here. I'm just going to go through them in the order that I read them. So the first book that I read was in 2019. It was The Marriage Book by Nicky and Sila Lee. They are also the authors of parenting books. This is a Christian book, but to be honest, anybody can read it. They have a course called the Marriage Course, which is absolutely amazing. You know, they speak on parenting, they speak on marriages, they speak on, you know, on just different topics that really cover you as an individual and as a family and as a whole as well. So I read this book, The Marriage Book, and because I wanted to show up as the best version of myself in my marriage, I wanted to show up as the best version of myself, for my husband, for my family, and my kids as well. And so This book touched on a lot of topics such as finances. It touched on the topics of, how to resolve conflict, because some of us out here, they keep grudges, okay? But I don't keep grudges loudly. I don't vocalize my grudges, and I pray to God to forgive me to not have grudges. But they talk about parenting as well. They talk about um focusing on how to navigate the in-laws and the parents and all of that. So it's really quite such a nice book for anyone who will be looking into getting into marriage, or you are in a serious relationship and you're thinking, okay, there's potential for this marriage to for this relationship to go further. Then I would definitely get this and look at their parenting book as well, which I am going to get very, very, very soon, hopefully in 2025. So yeah, this is the marriage book by Nicky and Sila Lee. Do get it for yourself. Then the next book that I read that I really, really loved was Power Thoughts by Joyce Meyer. Like, listen, I love Joyce Meyer. She is my favorite. She's one of my favorite preachers, besides my sister Sarah Jakes. I love Joyce Meyer. I love that her story is real. Her story is very, she doesn't shy away of what her story is, and that's what I like about most of the the sermons and preachers that I watch. I want to really get to know people who have gone through life. They have had life experiences, because that makes it more relatable. So this book, I read it, Power Thoughts, 12 strategies to win the battle of the mind. The reason why I wanted to read this book a lot is because I am an overthinker. I think a lot about how am I showing up to people. Am I saying the right things? Is what I'm saying? So yeah, so I'm the sort of person who thinks a lot, overthinks a lot. And I'm an introverted extrovert, which means I really don't, I really like to stay a lot by myself, or with people that are like safe spaces for me. And I wanted to find ways and strategies of how not to overthink, how to be able to tap into the verses in the Bible, and change my mindset about a lot of things, and just become a positive person. I'm a positive person generally. In regards to that, I'm always a half glass full type of person. I'm never a half glass empty type of person. I will always try to see the positive in something. My husband even says sometimes, like, it's not a positive thing. Don't try and put positivity into a sad thing. I'm like, but I don't like sad things. I don't watch news very often. I will watch when there's something specific that I want to know, but you wouldn't find me putting news early in the morning, because that's just depressing, right? You wake up in the morning and all you're hearing is about people fighting and bombs and somewhere. And it's like, I can hear that during the day at some point, but when I wake up, I just want to be filled with some power thoughts, with some powerful thoughts and minds, and just having a positive mindset kickstarts your day. So that is a book that I would say do get, which is Power Thoughts by Joyce Meyer. Absolutely love it. 12 strategies to win the battle of mind. As you can see, I have so many notes on here. One of the 12 strategies is I can do whatever I need to do in life through Christ, which is obviously taken from Philippians 4 verse 13, and she talks about, how to. So as you can see, she talks about how she uses the verses Philippians 4 verse 13. I can do whatever I need to do in life through Christ. And sometimes we struggle with things that we can do, or things that we believe we want to do. For example, in your vision board, you might be thinking, oh my God, how am I even going to achieve that? But then this book helps you in terms of how to contextualize scripture and into your day-to-day life as what is going on for you. So I really, really, really do love this book, and I believe I'll be reading it again next year, because sis has some big goals, okay? And sis needs to shift a few things in her life, okay? The third one, again by Joyce Meyer, which I read after this one. This book I read in 2022. Power Thoughts I read in 2021, but this one I read in 2022, which is Winning the Battlefield of Your Mind. As you can see, I'm a life coach, so there's a lot of things that I work with clients or within the community of highly favored women, where we talk a lot about the mindset and how we think and how we do things and how that affects us. So I love to read and understand what is really going on in the mind, which is why I also like to watch a lot of reality shows. Because for me, I will be sitting there with my like big sister hat and like life coach hat, and I'm trying to understand, like, why did you make that decision? Like, what did you think? What are you trying to get from that decision? So I read The Battlefield of the Mind, which is similar to Power Thoughts, but this book is more of, how to navigate basically, the worry, the confusion, the depression, the anger, all of those different feelings, and how to gain control over your mind to find freedom and peace. In this day and age that we live in, there's a lot of things that are so negative within the world, and there's depression and all of those things which can really play with your mind, and you might end up believing things that are not real, and making them out to be real because your mind has tricked you into believing that things are real. But also, you can also trick your mind into believing that this is not real. Like, what you're telling me to think right now, mind, is not real. I know for a fact. I wrote a post about 4 years ago, I think, on Instagram, where I said you need to question the thoughts that you have, right? Don't just take a thought and run with it. You need to question the authenticity of that thought. You need to fact check that thought before you start taking action on it, which is the same thing, right? Every day we think of something, we think of a million thoughts, per day. Don't quote me, I don't know how many thoughts we think per day, but I'm sure it's within that region, right? But before you take action on some of those thoughts, you need to really ask yourself and say, is this the truth? Is this what the Bible says about my life? Is this what I believe about my life? Is this what I believe I have seen happen for me in my life? Because every day that you live life, you are building evidence of what God can do in your life. You are building evidence of what you can do, the power that God has ordained in your life that you can do. So you really have to have a spirit of discernment, have a spirit of understanding of, you know what? I know that God has called me to be better and to think better. And so I am going to show up better for me, my family. And there's one thing that I always say about highly favored women, especially in the community and on here, if you're watching this video, is that we have been called to be generational curse breakers, because we are willing to take the stand and do something different from what our parents taught us and how they lived life, and also how our grandparents and their parents lived life. We are now at an age and a place in the world where we can change the narrative. You don't have to carry the narrative that your older generations carried, and you don't also have to carry it into the future for your children. You don't have to do that. So what that means is you have to start with the battlefield of the mind, shifting your mindset from I cannot to I can, shifting your mindset to, I can do this, shifting that mindset to saying, if God says this about me, then who am I to believe otherwise about it? So this is another book that I would say definitely get. The fourth book that I told you about, which I said, obviously, I'm a person who likes to build habits. I love to have routines. I love to start something and be consistent about it, because I never used to be a consistent person. I used to start something, stop it, start it, stop it, start it, stop it. But I realized that in order for me to be the best version of myself, I needed to start something and be consistent about it. I'm still not perfect. There are some things where I start and stop, or I change my mind, but I am always aiming to be 1% better every day. Which brings me to this book, Atomic Habits by James Clear, which is tiny changes and remarkable results, an easy and proven way to build good habits and break bad ones. This book is so simple, it's so nice. I've got it on a physical book, and I've also got it on Audible, because busy mom here. Sometimes I want to listen to a book on the go. But I love this book in the sense that he teaches you how to build and create micro habits at the same time. You know, like if you want to brush your teeth, right? If you want to like do your affirmations in the morning, but you always struggle for time, you know, why not have the affirmations on the mirror while you brush your teeth and you say your affirmations, right? Then they become a habit that every morning you have to do your affirmations, you have to do your prayers while you're brushing your teeth. So this book is really, really good if you're trying to create amazing habits, whether that be for work, for exercising, you know, for studying, whatever habits that you want to break and start afresh. This is the book for you. It will help you to become a consistent person. And all you need to do is just do 1% better every day. You don't have to start at 100%. Like, honestly, you don't have to. I remember when I started running in 2020 during lockdown, I had not run in years. Like, the last time I ran before 2020 was when I was getting married in 2016. So that's 4 years of me not running. But what I did was, instead of me going out and saying, you know what, I'm just going to go start running 5K for, you know, after just from nowhere, I started building micro habits, right? I downloaded the Couch to 5K app, and which allowed me to gradually increase my running speed, which allowed me to gradually increase my pace, also allowed me to gradually increase my confidence and ability to be able to run 5 kilometers within 30 minutes, right? And that for me was enough to start that micro habit and build it into becoming a lifestyle. One thing that I always say is our habits should become our lifestyle. You need to ask yourself, when you're creating a vision board, what sort of lifestyle do you want to achieve in your life? What sort of lifestyle do you want to have as a highly favored woman? Because your habits will create the lifestyle that you have. So these are the 4 books that I read at the beginning of my journey of self-development, and I absolutely love them. They are books that I come back to all the time. I know that some of them I'll be reading them in 2025, which reminds me that I will be doing a video for the 5 books that I'll be reading, no, the 3 books that I'll be reading in the first quarter of 2025, and another video on how I work the 12-week plan. So do look out for those videos. But these are the books that I read, and I love them. And if you are on a journey of personal development and you want to understand, okay, where do I start? What do I need to do? Firstly, start with your mindset, because your mindset plays a key part in who you become, what you do, and what you achieve, and how you show up for yourself and to the rest of the world as well. And secondly, you need to change your mindset. You need to look at the habits that you have. Sorry, change your habits. You need to look at the habits that you have. Are they good for you? Are they not good for you? Are they stopping you from becoming the best version of yourself, or are they enhancing you to becoming the best version of yourself? How can you be 1% better than you were yesterday within your habits, right? So those are the books that really help me to kickstart that journey. Get yourself some books, some of these books on Amazon. Most of them are always on sale on Amazon. If you've got Audible, download Audible. Get them there. It's only like $9.99, I think, and you get a free credit. You know, it really is important for you as a highly favored woman to be on a journey of becoming the best version of yourself in whatever season of life you are at. I hope that you have enjoyed this video, and if you have, please do give it a thumbs up, like, subscribe, and comment and share. The more you share, the more you comment, the more, you know, I feel like I'm on the right path, right? You're enjoying this content, but also the more YouTube rolls it out to a lot of people. So thank you so much, and I will see you another day. Bye. Oh, apparently I'll see you tomorrow. So yeah, there's a video coming tomorrow then. Stay blessed.